Hello, dear learners. I am Kaldybekkyzy, the senior teacher of Department Modern Languages and Translation Studies, and our discipline is British literature and the problems of translation. Today's lecture is devoted to the Charles Dickens, his life, literature, and social critic. The plan of our lecture: Dickens' early life, poverty, and its influence on his work. The second, Dickens as a young writer, the Pickwick Papers and his rise to fame. The third part will be about Dickens' social criticism, themes of class, poverty, and industrialization. And the last part will be about translating Dickens, the challenges of Victorian language and the social context. Charles John Huffman Dickens was born on 7th February in 1812 in the Landport district of Portsmouth, the second of 8 children of John and Elizabeth Dickens. Charming but impecunious members of the struggling genteel class. From not particularly auspicious beginnings, he grew up to become one of the greatest, best known and most loved writers of 19th centuries, the writers of the Victorian age. This childhood poverty and feeling of abandonment in 1833, Dickens began contributing stories and descriptive essays to magazines and newspapers, which were reprinted as sketches by the boss in February of 1836. After a passionate but thwarted love affair with Maria Bednall, a banker's daughter, in April of 1836, he married Catherine Hogarth, eldest daughter of a Scots family prominent in the arts. He and Catherine had 10 children, 9 surviving. His life was intriguing and filled with wonder as any of his novels, and many of the situations and the people he encountered found their ways into his works, the most popular of which was A Christmas Carol, conceived and written in a few weeks in 1843. A Christmas Carol was the first of his almost annual Christmas books and was hugely popular, commenting the way that many of Englishmen view Christmas to this day. Renowned for his lively and lavish entertaining, Dickens was a great celebrator and a promoter of Christmas for most of his life. The posthumous Papers of the Pickwick Club is the first novel by English author Charles Dickens. His previous works was sketched by Boss, published in 1836, and his publisher Charman and the Hall asked Dickens to supply description to explain a series of comic Cockney sporting plates by illustrator Robert Seymour and to connect them into a novel. The book became a publishing phenomenon with bootleg copies, theatrical performances, Sam Weller joke books, and other merchandise. On its cultural impact, Nicola Dames and the Atlantic writers, literature is not a big enough category for Pickwick. It defined its own, a new one that we have learned to call entertainment. The Pickwick Papers was published in 19 issues over 20 months, and it popularized and serialized fiction and Chieflander endings. Charles Dickens' novels shine a spotlight of Victorian society's dark underbelly, and his stories expose the harsh realities of poverty, that inequality and urban squalor that plagued 19th century England. Dickens didn't just entertain; he pushed for the change. He pushed for the change in a society, in literature. Dickens highlights the stark contrast between the wealthy and the impoverished in Victorian society class divisions are deeply entrenched, with little opportunity for upward social mobility. Bleak House, one of the literary works of Charles Dickens, is a novel that was first published in 1852 and 1853, and it serves as a powerful critique of British legal system and the social injustice of the time. The story weaves together multiple characters and the plot lines, revealing the corrupt and inefficient nature of the court system while exposing the broader societal issues surrounding poverty, class disparity, and the impact of bureaucracy on human lives. Child labor in the Victorian age was one of the vital problems of the society. And the child labor refers to the practice of employing children in work that deprive them of their childhood, education, and potential, often in harsh and exploitative conditions. This phenomenon became widespread during the Industrial Revolution, particularly in Britain, where children were seen as a cheap source of labor for factories, mines, and other industries. The widespread exploitation of child labor led to social criticism and the reform movements aimed at improving working conditions and protecting the children's rights. One of his popular literary work, David Copperfield. David Copperfield is a semi-autobiographical novel by Charles Dickens, first published in 1850, that follows the life of its titular character from the childhood to adulthood. It serves as a lens to critique the social injustice and the class disparities present in Victorian England, showcasing Dickens' deep concern for the plight and the poor and the marginalized. Oliver Twist. Oliver Twist, the Charles Dickens, one of the prominent novel, is a life on an orphaned boy named Oliver, as he navigates the harsh realities of the life in 19th century in England. This work is significant for its exploration of social issues and its innovative narrative style, which includes vivid characterization and mixed humor patterns, reflecting the complexities of the Victorian industrial society. Translating the Dickens works, the challenge of Victorian language and the social context. The Charles Dickens works present unique challenges for translators due to their rich Victorian-era language, social commentary, and cultural references. His novel contains complex sentence structure, idiomatic expression, humor, and dialect specific to the 19th century England. Dickens often used sarcasm, puns, wordplay, which can be hard to translate directly. Adapt puns and jokes so they make sense culturally while preserving the humor. Maintain his witty tone even if it requires rewarding certain phrases. And the last one, be mindful of Victorian era expression that may need clarification or adaptation. We have come to the end of our lecture. Thank you for your attention.